Ladies and gentlemen, good evening everyone and welcome. Please remember to silence your phones. Please extend a warm welcome to our esteemed MC of the evening, Miss Symone Townsend, co-host of Weeknight at MSNBC, wife and Nebraska native, Miss Symone. Make some noise for Symone.
This is why you attend the sound check. Greetings, everyone. You could turn me down. Thank you. Good evening. It is my esteemed pleasure to be here this evening and serve as the MC for this program. I am sure you are wondering, what the hell am I doing here? Let me just tell you, Lorna Wisham is a dear friend of mine. And I cannot imagine anywhere else I would rather be tonight on the evening, on her birthday. Yes, it's Lorna's birthday. I know she didn't want y'all to know. She's gonna be like, oh my God. And I am here because I owe Lorna many favors. Because at one point in time, I texted Lorna while she was on the golf course one afternoon in 2016 and asked her, could I stay at her home for 2 weeks? I stayed for 6 to 7 months. I paid zero rent. Long story short, Lorna kicked me out with love. And I am 99% sure I would not be standing before you today if she did not. Because that was the impetus to start my business. That's how I got my clients. And that's how I stayed on television. And that's how Joe Biden knew who I was to hire me in 2020. So we need to give a big round of applause to Lorna. So it is my esteemed pleasure to be here to welcome you to the 45th Annual Black Professional Charitable Foundation Association Scholarship Gala. We are delighted to be here tonight for such a noble cause, honoring such an amazing individual. And on behalf of the organization, I want to extend their heartfelt gratitude for your presence, but also your contributions and your sponsorships. This was a sold-out event. Give yourselves a round of applause. It would not be possible without your generosity. Before we commence, it is my duty to highlight a few important points. If you have not yet obtained a program, a link to the digital version is in fact available. We encourage you to also use the text to give, because this is for the children, for the scholarships. We can always do a little bit more. That option will be displayed on the screen throughout this evening. I will note garage parking is available. The validation for that is available at the registration desk right outside the ballroom. Please visit that before you leave here this evening. And I know you are wondering, we discussed it at my table, I'm not going to name any names, but the bars will remain closed for a few more moments as we begin our program. They will reopen once dinner service commences. I won't tell you what table I'm at. At this point, I want you to join me in welcoming the officers of the Black Professional Association Charitable Foundation. President, Dr. Michelle Scott Taylor. You can give a round of applause. Vice President Tyson Mitchell. And Treasurer Paul Farrington. Also, please welcome our BPACF Scholars. These are our officers making their way right now. Give it up for the officers. And our scholars, as the students enter and wave. Come on, scholars, yeah! Don't they look good? Yes, this is what we're here for. I see some CEOs. I see some foundation presidents. I see some television hosts. It is absolutely amazing. This is why y'all need to text to give. Stand up on the feet for the scholars. Now introducing our 2025 Black Professional of the Year, Ms. Lorna Wisham, accompanied by her nephews, Julian and Clay Hudson. Absolutely amazing. Lorna, we are so excited. We are so excited to honor you tonight and our scholars. I must note, you know, the 7 months I stayed at Lorna's house, I didn't pay her rent. So, yes, teach the millennials. Get us together. I see people are waiting with bated breath for the salads at their table. We had the pleasure of having the Reverend at our table. So we've blessed and ate our salads. But it is now my distinct honor to introduce to the rest of you our first guest of the evening, Dr. Jawanza Colvin, the pastor of Olivet Institutional Baptist Church. Please join me in welcoming the pastor, Reverend Colvin, to bless the food.
Good evening. The doors of the church are open. I am at Symone's table. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Let us pray. We are thankful for the living of these days. We are thankful for reasonable portion of health and strength to summon ourselves to this moment of recognition and celebration. We thank you for this opportunity to recognize excellence in Black. And we are yet mindful and appreciative of all the many amazing and diverse ways in which you express your genius, your creativity, and your amazing grace in all 9 billion of us who share this planet. We thank you for this moment, for as we celebrate one of the best among us, we celebrate the greatness that is in all of us. And yet we are always mindful in these times in which we live that even on the mountain, we still have challenges in the valley. So may we be inspired. May we be encouraged. May we be uplifted, and yet may we be challenged that when we leave this mountaintop experience, and it is a mountaintop moment, may we return to the valley with our marching orders inspired by what we've experienced on tonight. We bless you, we honor you. May we laugh, may we love, may we embrace, and may we celebrate. In your precious name we pray, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to join us in singing the Negro National Anthem. We will all perform the first verse and the chorus, with the lyrics being displayed on the screen for your convenience. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome, as you put your left hand together with your right hand, for Dr. Michelle Scott Taylor, President of BPACF, to the stage right now.
Thank you, DJ Ellery. I did just go see Hell's Kitchen, which, by the way, was the bomb, and I got to hear the song, so thank you for that. All right, y'all. I do have a script because I do not want to get emotional, so just bear with me. Many of you know I just get up here and start talking from my heart, but I thought, in honor of my beautiful, beautiful soror and BPOY Lorna, I'm going to be a little bit more prepared. So this is an incredible night, an incredible sight, with the room filled with brilliance, legacy, and an unstoppable energy of Black excellence. It is my joy and my deep honor to welcome you all to the 45th Annual Black Professionals Association Charitable Foundation Scholarship and Gala. Welcome. We're so deeply honored to have among us our distinguished guests, you all, community partners, elected officials, and civic leaders. So if you are an elected official, would you please stand to be recognized? Elected officials, please stand. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming. Your presence tonight reminds us that progress is a collective journey, with all of us playing our role for the betterment of our entire community. As we reflect on this milestone, we must also begin with the honoring the visionaries who made this all possible, our founders. So with that, I'd like to recognize Ms. Tanya Allman, may she rest in peace, Mr. Art Baker. Art, if you here, please stand. And Miss Nancella Harris. Can we please give our founders a round of applause? There they are, my left. 45 years ago, they had the courage to dream boldly, to create an organization that would connect, uplift, and invest in our community. Because of their foresight, thousands of lives have been changed, countless leaders have been inspired, and an enduring legacy of excellence was born. Let's take a moment again and thank them for their service. Nan, Art, and to the family of Tanya Allman, thank you so much. And so interestingly, what began 45 years ago is a testament to their legacy. Because as you can see, this year, we've moved to the Huntington Convention Center. I'm hoping you all feel like you have more room to move around. We've been at Lander Haven for a lot of years, and we were getting very tight. This beautiful new venue reflects how far we've come and how much we've grown. The size of this room, the energy tonight, and the commitment of everyone here reminds us that the work of BPACF continues to resonate, inspire, and expand. We are growing because our impact is growing. Uh-oh, I'm running out of time. I want to take a moment to extend a special thanks to our honorary co-chairs and our host committee. You all have done an astounding job reaching out to our friends and partners across the community, especially in a time when corporate sponsorships are increasingly difficult to secure. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you to all the sponsors who sponsored this event tonight. Your determination, creativity, and commitment ensures that this celebration not only happens, but it shines brightly. We are truly grateful for your tireless work and your steadfast belief in BPACF's mission. DJ Ellery, don't turn the music on me. To our board of directors, can the wonderful board of BPACF please stand and be recognized? These professionals are hard at work for our scholars and for our emerging leaders. I have CEOs, book authors, attorneys, councilwomen. I mean, our board is the bomb, and I encourage you to look them up and get to know them. Thank you. Thank you for your dedication, y'all. I don't know how I would do this without you. Your mission, your commitment to this mission endures, and I really, really appreciate you. So let me just say real quick, this mission is also deeply personal to me. Many of you know I'm the CEO of College Now Greater Cleveland. Shout out to College Now. I think we're here tonight. Where are you? Yay! Thank y'all for coming. I see every day how access to education transforms lives. I've watched young people take that leap of faith, believing in themselves because someone believed in them first. In fact, I don't know how many of you all know this, but today is the deadline for early action and early decision for many colleges. And I'm sure some of you have been up till 3 a.m. helping a 17-year-old boy polish an essay. Oh wait, that was just me. That was just me. All right. Or how we help young professionals try to figure out what to do in this current world where opportunities seem to be shrinking. We must continue to show them that we believe in them. But that's exactly what the BPACF community does, pouring into members of our community and helping them get to where they want to go. You have no idea the joy I feel leading these two organizations that are truly lifelines for so many in our community. So now, for 45 years later, with that special sauce that only BPACF can bring, we still intimately build connections, open pathways, and ensure that we help people find their potential. But not only do we recognize the young people, tonight it's about recognizing those whose shoulders we stand on. And I know I stand on these shoulders. Tonight we are honored to celebrate someone who embodies that spirit of legacy and duty. And that is Lorna. Thank you so much, Lorna, for accepting this. Thank you so much. I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer. Here we go. Lorna is a model of servant leadership. Everywhere I go, though, I am compelled to share with you that I knew Lorna before I knew Lorna. Her legacy is in my home chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I knew more about her before we even met. Her line and her sayings, aptly named forbearance, truly encaptures what I have come to know of her through this process. She leads with grace. Thank you. I know this was a lot. Thank you. Compassion and purpose. She uses her platform to uplift others and strengthen communities. Lorna, we are proud to honor your impact and to celebrate you and all that you represent. So as we celebrate in this beautiful new space, in this remarkable moment, let us remember this is more than a gala. It is a reflection of who we are. It is a testament that we are our ancestors' most wildest dreams. We must continue to lift as we climb, all of us. So as we dine, dance, and celebrate, let's remember this is a declaration of our collective power, our shared responsibility to our young scholars and professionals, and our unwavering faith in the future of our community. So again, I'm going to sit down now. Welcome to the 45th Annual BPACF Scholarship and Gala, where we honor our past, invest in our future, and celebrate the excellence that defines us all. I did it. Yay. I'd now like to call up to the stage the president of First Energy Corp., Mr. Terrence Hinton, our diamond sponsor for this event. I almost forgot about you.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be here tonight on behalf of First Energy to celebrate a truly remarkable leader, colleague, and change maker, Lorna Wisham. Now, I'll admit, I only had the privilege of knowing Lorna for a very short time. But as you know, it doesn't take long to recognize a force of nature when you see it. Lorna is a kind person who walks into a room and instantly raises the bar with presence and purpose that is hard to deny. She believes that, as her role model, Marion Wright Edelman once said, service is the rent we pay for being. That being the case, Lorna, your rent is most certainly paid in full and with some interest. Under her leadership, the First Energy Foundation turned corporate giving into community building. From launching the $7 million Investing with a Purpose initiative that supported nearly 200 nonprofits in the wake of the pandemic and the killing of George Floyd, to quietly and strategically working behind the scenes, stitching together the fabric of our communities with strong, sure, and compassionate leadership, ensuring that no one would fall through the cracks. Lorna is the kind of leader who inspires others to be their best selves, inviting family, friends, and First Energy colleagues, and probably even some strangers, to roll up their sleeves and join her in the privilege of serving others. Lorna makes sure everyone has a seat at the table. Colleagues describe her as a mentor, a servant leader, a dear friend. Her 2005 Leadership Cleveland classmates might even refer to Lorna as the megaphone, grateful that she never misses a chance to give their class a proper and befitting shout out. Lorna is known for leading with her head, her heart, and her never-ending need to do more. I'm told that anyone still working when the moon came up might find Lorna in her office, dreaming big by the glow of her Tiffany lamp. That's not just dedication, that's style. Lorna's legacy is measured not in awards and accolades, although as evident by tonight, she's earned plenty, but in countless lives touched, in the ripple effects of kindness and connection she set in motion. In nonprofits empowered to feed, house, educate, and uplift neighbors across 5 states. In people labeled small or unimportant being seen, heard, and valued. In thousands of First Energy employees inspired to lean in to their passion and give more of themselves. And in everyone, like leaders like myself, doing it what it takes to walk the walk. Hoping to build a legacy that looms just as large, tonight we honor Lorna not just for what she's done, but who she is. A person who sees possibility where others might see limitations. A leader who answered, "I think we can," every time her team asks, "Who does that?" Lorna, if real impact is measured by lives touched, well, just please take a moment and look around the room. Then multiply this by a lifetime of dedicated service. From all of your First Energy friends, past and present, congratulations on being named the 2025 Black Professional of the Year. You deserve it, you've earned it, and we're proud to carry the torch forward that you've lit. Thank you.
Let me tell you, we should all aspire to retire and then have the head of the company stand in front of a room and speak about us the way Mr. Hinton just spoke about Lorna. Goals, goals. Okay, I know you all are hungry, and again, you would like the bar to reopen. We are now transitioning to the dinner portion of our program. The wait staff will be serving your dinner selections at your table. If you did not select, we did select for you. Enjoy your meal, and we will be back shortly with the rest of our program. Thank you. Greetings, everyone. We are now going to continue with our program. Don't worry, the bar is staying open. This evening, oh, they told me you can't. You know, usually they say I'm too loud. All right, we're going to continue with our program. I hope you all have enjoyed your dinner service. Dessert is on the way. Feel free to visit the bar. We are thrilled and so proud to have several of our students present this evening. We have invited 2 students to share their journey with us. I will ask those students to please make their way to the stage while you join me in welcoming Bryce Hodge, who is majoring in political science at Case Western Reserve University. All right, Bryce. And Amariana Pruitt, majoring in health science from Howard University. Y'all look so great. All right, Bryce, is it your turn now? All right, well, I'm gonna let the students lead me. A round of applause for Mr. Hodges.
Good evening. In today's political climate, education itself has become a battleground. Across the country, we are witnessing a wave of laws and policies that seek to silence, sanitize, and suppress. Books are being banned for telling the truth about race. Diversity programs are being dismantled under the guise of neutrality, and teachers are being told that honest history is too dangerous for young minds. We all know that these are not isolated attacks. They are coordinated attempts to control what people know and therefore what they believe is possible. When classrooms become political targets, it's not just lessons that are lost. It's the freedom to think critically, to question power, and to imagine a better future. And for Black students and educators, these attacks carry a deeper weight. They echo generations of struggle when learning to read was once an act of rebellion and when access to higher education was a privilege that we had to fight for. To see education under attack again is to be reminded that knowledge has always been both a threat and a tool. A threat to systems built on inequality, and a tool for liberation in the hands of those who refuse to be silenced. What we are witnessing today is not new. It is a repetition of an old story. For as long as education has existed in this country, there have been efforts to determine who gets to learn, what gets to be taught, and whose knowledge counts. When we trace the roots of these current attacks, we see the same thread running through them. Fear. Fear of an educated public. Fear of critical thought. And fear of what happens when Black minds are free to create, to question, and to lead. Higher education in particular has always represented more than just personal advancement. For Black communities, it has been a vehicle for liberation, a pathway to self-determination, justice, and generational progress. From the creation of HBCUs and the aftermath of the Civil War, to the rise of Black student movements demanding representation and equity on predominantly white campuses, education has never been neutral. It has always been political because it shapes the future and who gets to have a voice in it. So when we see the rollback of diversity initiatives, the censorship of Black studies, and the defunding of institutions that serve underrepresented students, we must understand it for what it truly is. Not just a policy debate, but an attack on the very idea that Black people belong in every space where knowledge is created and shared. To attack education is to attack opportunity. To attack Black education is to attack progress itself. At its core, education is the most effective tool ever created to change the trajectory of a life. It is the bridge between circumstance and possibility, the difference between surviving and thriving. For generations, it has been the clearest pathway to economic mobility, social stability, and personal development. When people are educated, they are not just given information, they are given the capacity to make choices, to think critically, and to build something better for themselves and others. Education is the foundation on which every form of progress stands. It equips people to earn more, to lead more, and to give more back to their communities. It's the reason why families sacrifice, why first-generation students persevere, and why societies invest in public schools and universities. Because we know, or at least we used to know, that the classroom is where potential becomes power. And that's what makes the current attack so dangerous. To limit access to education is to deny people the right to self-determination. To censor truth in the classroom is to distort the very foundation upon which progress depends. When we strip education of its depth, its honesty, and its accessibility, we don't just harm individual students, we weaken the entire fabric of our democracy. Education has always been the most reliable equalizer we have. It doesn't erase every barrier, but it gives us the tools to climb them. It gives us the power to move from what is to what could be. That is why programs like the Black Professionals Association Charitable Foundation's Scholarship and Professional Development Program are so vital. In a time when the value of higher education is being questioned, BPACF stands as proof of its power. BPACF understands that education doesn't end at the classroom door. It extends into mentorship, networking, leadership, and community. It transforms learning from something abstract into something living and lasting. As a BPACF scholar and aspiring attorney, my experience has been nothing short of transformative. First and foremost, the connections I've made through this program have been invaluable. I've had the privilege of meeting attorneys from a wide range of universities and practice areas who have aided me through the process of planning my future in law. They've helped me see the paths available within a profession and show me how to navigate them with confidence and purpose. These are the kind of relationships that don't just open doors, they change the way you see what's possible. But what stands out the most about BPACF is its community. Being surrounded by people who genuinely want to see you succeed, who understand the challenges that come with being a young Black professional, and who choose to uplift you anyway, is powerful. It's a reminder that success is not meant to be solitary. We grow stronger when we grow together. Through BPACF, I've learned that professionalism is not just about personal achievement. It's about legacy. It's about giving back, mentoring others, and using our own progress to open the doors for those who come after us. This experience has reaffirmed my commitment to pursuing a career in law, not just as a personal goal, but as a way to serve others. I feel more prepared, more confident, and more inspired to contribute meaningfully to my community. And as I move forward, I carry with me not only the lessons I've learned, but the responsibility to keep that cycle of opportunity alive for the next generation. In a world where education is being challenged, BPACF is standing firm. It is not just a scholarship, it is a statement of resistance, resilience, and renewal. It is a living example of what happens when we invest in Black excellence, when we create spaces for our students to thrive, and when we refuse to accept that the pursuit of knowledge should be limited to the privileged few. And so tonight, as a beneficiary of this foundation's mission, I want to end with this. Programs like BPACF only exist because people believe in the power of education and choose to invest in it. Every dollar donated, every hour volunteered, every student mentored creates a ripple that reaches far beyond one individual. It transforms families, strengthens communities, and reshapes futures. If you have the means, the time, or even just a belief in what education can do, I encourage you to continue supporting this foundation. Because when you invest in BPACF, you're not just funding scholarships, you're funding freedom, opportunity, and the next generation of change makers. Thank you.
Do you have an internship, Bryce? You do? Okay. If you need another one, someone in this room is going to give you one. You can clap for boys. Before Mariana comes to the stage to share her experience with BPACF, I do think it is really important to pause. What Bryce just spoke about and what this organization represents is literally being weaponized in every corner of this country right now. It didn't used to be radical to have an organization that started with Black, but in this particular climate, it is. So to see that amidst everything that is happening in this country, everything that is happening in Ohio, y'all know I do read the news. That's not why I'm here. But to see that and to know that this organization is raising up scholars like Mr. Hodges and Miss Pruitt and these dynamic scholars that walked into the room today is a testament to the work of this community, is a testament to literally every single person in this room. What you all are doing tonight and will continue to do, unfortunately in this climate, puts a target on every single one of you all's back. But I am here to tell you, it is necessary. It is vital. And it is the only way we are going to get through whatever this is. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Pruitt to the stage.
Short. Good evening, everyone. My name is Lorna Pruitt, and I am truly honored to stand before you tonight as a BPACF Scholar. I am a senior health science major with an education minor in concentration in maternal child health at Howard University. Thank you. This upcoming spring, I'll be the first in my family to graduate from college, and I'm so grateful to share a bit about my journey as a first-generation college student. Thank you. Thank you. Being the first in my family to attend college has been both exciting and challenging. There were moments when the path forward felt uncertain, times when being in certain rooms felt surreal, reminding me how far I've come and how far I can go. BPACF has been a steady source of support, encouragement, and belief in me. The financial assistance I received helped ease the stress of paying for school, allowing me to stay focused on my goals. Beyond the financial help, BPACF has given me so much more. Leadership opportunities, networking events, resume workshops, and professional growth that I otherwise would have missed. Every BPACF event has given me lessons and tools that I'll carry far beyond the classroom. And something I've always appreciated is how BPACF consistently checks in through emails, scholarships, internships, and encouragement. reminding me that I have a community cheering me on even from miles away. One highlight of my BPACF experience was securing an internship with Cleveland Metro Parks. It gave me hands-on experience, helping me sharpen my professional skills and taught me how to build lasting relationships. I met amazing people who embody what it means to be passionate about your work. Another moment that really stuck with me happened at a BPACF networking event. I met a healthcare professional who shared advice on combining my love for health and psychology. That conversation reminded me that my dreams are attainable. They're not only possible, but they're in reach. And something I'll never forget is the warmth and love at every BPACF event I've attended. From the moment you walk in, you feel seen, celebrated, and empowered, like you belong to a community that truly wants you to succeed. Through these experiences, BPACF has done far more than help me financially. It has given me confidence, direction, and a supportive community. I continue to grow as an emerging leader, using my education and skills to inspire and uplift others. Whether through health, psychology, or my entrepreneurial passions like dance and creative expression, I'm deeply grateful to BPACF for opening doors, expanding my vision, and helping me grow into the woman that I'm becoming. Thank you guys for believing in students like me and for reminding us that with passion and purpose, we can go farther than we ever imagined. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to welcome Ms. Laurie Murphy, Executive Director of BPACF, to the stage right now.
Wow. Every time I read a scholarship application, an essay, every time we hear the feedback from our students, it blows me away. Blows me away. If I can have the BPACF Scholars stand up one more time. Get up. Oh, okay. $1,125 students and counting. As we walk toward $4 million over the next couple of years, because we're at 3.8 now, we're going to celebrate these students, we're going to continue to connect them, and we're going to support them. And if you know about an internship or a job, make sure you let us know through the code that's going to become a champion sponsor. That's a code in the book. Because no child, no student should walk away not having the exposure to their career desires. There is nothing like dreams deferred. With that being said, I am not going to repeat what they said because I'm just blown away. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting them. Most, I want to start with is thanking our 2025 Black Professional of the Year, Lorna Wisham, for not, so I turned your hair gray, I'm sure. The host committee who stepped into it, my board who bit their nails while we did this shift, but we did this shift for a reason. What's different this year is we have room to fellowship, we have room at each table to integrate our students, our volunteers, our vendors who do some really interesting discounts for us, but they also believe in what we do to support these students in their desires, their dreams, their goals. So for that, I thank you all. In this room, 90% of these tables are sponsored. That didn't change. In this climate, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Some of you put your money on the table when your company wouldn't, and for that, we thank you. And with that, I'm going to step into this. On your table is a card. It is my pleasure to announce that we have an anonymous donor who is willing to match up to $15,000 tonight. I don't think y'all heard me on this one. $15,000 tonight. You know what that means? Let's keep it moving. You have a QR code, I'll make it real easy for you. Hit that match. On there are scholarship fundings for our internships, fundings for supporting what we do with our students every day. Funding for photos, because you know guys, you need to walk the walk and talk the talk. But most importantly, again, if you are in a seat, that is in a sponsored seat rather, we would like you to do your thing. Contribute. Don't let us walk out of here not matching $15,000. It's quiet. How many of you are going to do that? I don't need to know numbers. Raise your hands. Support these students. You know I can't see these boards. I think in front of me is a leaderboard. I think there's a thermometer or something like that. I can't quite see. Okay. We're going to pop that up from time to time, but I want you to do this. This is not begging, it's the truth. You know how you got in those chairs. We thank the partnerships that got us along the way. We embrace those, look forward to having more partnerships and more leveraging of dollars and support and mentoring of our students. I'm going to think one more thing. Are there any under 40 honorees in the room? If so, please stand. Okay. A new initiative we started in second year. The second level of essays and testimonials, again, amazing 25 to 39-year-olds. But this is what we're talking about. This is the intergenerational movement that has kept this organization viable for since 1977, to be honest. So with that, I'm gonna drop the mic and I'm gonna call up, let's continue to give, I'm gonna call up Randell to the stage, Randell McShepard.
Good evening. What a distinguished audience. You all look fantastic. It is my honor to bring greetings and congratulations to Lorna Wisham on behalf of the honorary chairs and committee chairs for tonight's event. I would like to read the names of those individuals and ask that they stand if they are present to be recognized. Our honorary chairs include Margot James Copeland, Lee Friedman, the Honorable Marcia L. Fudge, and David Whitehead. Yes. Our committee chairs include Carrie Carpenter, Ariane Kirkpatrick, Vanessa Whiting, and yours truly, Randell McShepard. Let's give them all a round of applause. Lorna, please know that we are all very proud of you, and we're happy to see you celebrated this evening for all that you have done for the city of Cleveland and for all of us. In my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, what makes Lorna so deserving of this honor is that she has always shown up to help so many without ever asking for anything in return. She's what I would call a quiet giant who gets things done, takes care of people, and looks out for her friends. I know this firsthand, as Lorna was one of 5 African American professionals who I teamed up with several years ago to create the Minority Board Member Pipeline Initiative in partnership with Business Volunteers Unlimited, which was designed to connect emerging African American executives with nonprofit boards. That effort led to well over 300 African Americans being placed on nonprofit boards. Thank you, Lorna. When I served as the chairman of the Public Engagement Committee as part of Cuyahoga County's government reform efforts, most of the committee resigned because the work became too difficult. Lorna was one of the very few who stayed committed to the assignment and continued to offer her encouragement and support. Thank you, Lorna. And as a fellow member with her in the Blacks in Management organization, I appreciated Lorna's sound leadership as our president and other officer positions of the organization for many years, where she always offered wise counsel and exhibited professional integrity and undaunted support for the advancement of Black professionals. Thank you, Lorna. I could say so much more, but I will summarize by saying to Lorna, you have worked extremely hard in and on behalf of this community, and you deserve this honor. So please embrace this moment. Know that we all love you, and we look forward to continuing to get into good trouble with you for many years to come. Congratulations.
At every step of my outreach, there's always a common question. Well, do you know Lorna Wisham? Do you know Lorna Wisham? Do you know Lorna Wisham?
Do you know Lorna? I was like, no, who's Lorna? She's this amazing, brilliant, communicator, philanthropist, leader, but she also has this warm and wonderful grace. She touches people in ways that aren't just about leadership. There's a spiritual balance that she brings to every relationship.
This is called Lorna Doone. These are cookies. And I'd never met anybody named Lorna, and I thought it was an absolutely beautiful name, and if I ever was fortunate enough to have a daughter, I was going to name her Lorna. I love Lorna just like I love Lorna Doone cookies. Lorna's father and I got married in 1964, September, and by November of 65, he wanted to know why we didn't have any kids. And I said, you want a baby? And he said, yeah. I said, okay. And just like clockwork, there she is.
Lorna and I are 3 years apart, so it's enough time and space for me to be annoying, right? We were thick as thieves growing up, along with our godbrother, Harold Brown. And we spent a lot of time. We had a great childhood.
I've known Lorna as long as I've been alive. Our families lived in close proximity. We used to do family vacations together. Our fathers were part of a group called Blacks in Management.
She and her sister Karen both had those leadership qualities. Their father, Clay Wisham, was a close friend and mentor of mine, and you could see the influence of their father and mother, Evelyn, as they grew up into adulthood. Clay had a great impact on my career. She was very close to her father, who's passed on, and he was a quiet leader, and she's adapted some of that. But she can be also very vocal when it's necessary.
Lorna's a great big sister. She was a great role model. She had lots of friends. She was, sporty and athletic. She was funny. She was involved.
She liked athletics, so she ran track.
While we had a great upbringing living in Shaker, it was very important for us to understand what the rest of the world looked like and what the rest of the world was faced with and needed, and what we personally will be faced with. because of the color of our skin.
We'd be a better place if we had more people who led the way that Lorna does.
So I met Lorna in 2002 while we were both serving in Mayor Jane Campbell's administration.
Lorna has been my mentor since 2007, so for the past 18 years.
They would always refer me back to Lorna Wisham. And as luck would have it, I reached out to her internally.
And I met her initially because she was the Vice President of Corporate Affairs and Community Involvement, and my job was annually, we did something called Harvest for Hunger.
I first got to know Lorna about 25 years ago. I had the pleasure of serving as CEO of the Centers for Families and Children when she was on the board.
Lorna went into government service, and she was actually working at the city of Cleveland, and we maintained the contact, family contact. I was moving up the ranks at the illuminating company at the time. Ironically, maybe 20 years after her father had hired me, I called her house and told her mother or father, I forgot who answered the phone, get me her resume as soon as you can. And one thing led to another, and she joined us at the illuminating company in First Energy as an executive.
As part of the new hire paperwork that we received, there was a pamphlet with pictures and bios of all of the executive members. I could count on one hand the number of African American leaders, and I decided to reach out. So I sent her an email and introduced myself, told her that I'd like to go to lunch. That was the beginning of our relationship.
I could go on at great length about all of the qualities that Lorna has exhibited in her leadership over the years. One thing that comes to mind is a rare blend of professionalism and gentleness, a perfect balance of power in her position, but kindness in her demeanor. Really, Lorna exemplifies both grace and effectiveness as a leader.
When I think about Lorna's commitment to community, it really is unique and not like anyone I've ever seen in corporate America.
I think Lorna's legacy is extraordinary through the partnership she's built in Cleveland. She brings her whole self to everything that she does. She's shown us how different sectors can work together, particularly when the private sector leads, but also how the private sector can really support important civic efforts.
She's definitely a networker. She's a leader. She's authentic. I think those are key traits of a leader, and something that I always admire her. She's very genuine, very approachable.
She likes to be involved. I think that some of the organizations and her job helped with that. She's a Delta.
Lorna, in her essence, is just love, right? You know, and that's just the essence of who she is. We were laughing earlier, she's our kumbaya sister, right? You know.
Let's pray.
She has a magnetic personality. She has a way to make everybody that encounters her feel comfortable, connected, and engaged. And she continues to be a confidant to me. She is even now a confidant to our sons, her nephews.
Lorna is a person who does not think about just herself.
She's just a remarkable person, classy, fun to be around. I love Lorna. And so I've learned a ton from her.
There's nothing better than a round of golf with Lorna, a great drink after dinner.
She has an eye for fashion. I keep trying to ask her to gift me a few things out of her closet.
She doesn't do it for the accolades.
No,
not at all. Like, she doesn't care about it.
I have seen her step up and do the hard things, the uncomfortable things when it comes to pushing initiatives forward.
Midst of complexity and issues and all the turmoil, and also the love and the kindness that she exudes. So it's more than just what she gave back to the community. It's also the legacy, I think, that she's leaving as a result of.
Congratulations on your award. This is truly a testament to how you have walked your journey and walked through this world. Thank you for being my first role model and best role model. I am so proud of you and proud of all of the work that you continue to do to uplift your family, your friends, and the Cleveland community.
Lorna Doom, you're one of a kind. I want you to know you are special. You always have been, you always will be. And that's part me, and maybe a bigger part is from your dad, Clay Wisham. You are so much like him. And I know we all loved him. And I'm thankful for his foresight and that I was smart enough to listen to him when he said he wanted a baby. And lucky enough that it's Lorna Wisham.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the BPACF Executive Board members and the Executive Director to the stage to present the award of this year's Black Professional of the Year. Now please stand to your feet and welcome to the stage the 2025 Black Professional of the Year, Miss Lorna Wisham.
Miss Lorna Wisham, everybody, our BPOY of the year. Come on now. All right, we're gonna let her put her portfolio down and we're gonna take a couple pictures. You all can take pictures, but we want to. Thank you so much. On behalf, you know, he trying to kick it. The after party is after this, upstairs, and we gonna kick it. All right. On behalf of BPACF, our founders, our current board members, our past BPOYs, our legacy committee, our sponsors, our friends, we'd like to present you with the BPOY Black Professional of the Year Award, and thank you for everything you've done and everything you will continue to do in our community. I think we're going to step to the side. Do we want to step to the side, gentlemen? Should we step this way?
Can we get some more music?
Do you need water or anything?
All right.
Okay, she all right.
She's good. She's good. Whew, man. This was a lot. Mommy, thank you for listening to Daddy. It is, every time I hear you tell that story about how I came to be, I'm generally embarrassed, right? But it's my birthday. It's my birthday. So I'm okay. Tell everybody that wants to know. Man, it's so beautiful to look out in this room and see so many friends. I know there's a bet how long it's going to take before I start crying, so just settle up, wherever that is. This was emotional. This whole journey has been an incredible blessing. One, I never saw coming. Two, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. And three, overjoyed at how beautiful this room looks. You all look fabulous. Thank you for for showing up tonight. Before I begin my remarks, of course, I do need the glasses. I have had a difficult day. If I could take a moment of personal privilege. And I want to thank Dr. Michelle Scott Taylor for wrapping her arms around me and helping me through the challenge today. Love isn't shared by everyone, right? But if you hold that kind of energy within, it's exchanged whether you pay attention to it or not. And while she is my soarer, my chapter soarer, Michelle, you have a really beautiful spirit, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for that. So first, giving honor to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you for your everlasting mercy, your grace, and your unwavering love for me. To Madam Chair, Dr. Michelle Scott Taylor, Executive Director Laurie Murphy, the BPACF Board of Directors, and the Black Professional of the Year Nominating Committee, I sincerely thank you for selecting me as this year's honoree and entrusting me to carry the legacy of Black excellence that you have bestowed upon so many extraordinary leaders over the past 45 years. I am profoundly moved and deeply humbled by the honor. This, and I hope not to do that the entire speech, this recognition makes my extraordinary journey, every triumph and every challenge, even more meaningful. Thank you so much for seeing me. To the phenomenal host committee, led so graciously by honorary chairs Margot James Copeland, Lee Friedman, the Honorable Marsha L. Fudge, and my mentor, David Whitehead. I am so grateful for your sincere friendship, mentorship, and wise counsel over the decades. We all thank you for your civic leadership and long-standing commitment to Northeast Ohio. To the hardest working fundraising chairs, Carrie Carpenter, Arian Kirkpatrick, Randall McShepard, and Vanessa Whiting, with special recognition to Alexandria Johnson Boone and Jasmine Long. I am profoundly grateful for your invaluable contributions in leading this effort, especially, I need a tissue, y'all. Thank you. You can edit that part out, right? Okay. I am profoundly grateful for your invaluable contributions in leading this effort during this unprecedented time. I extend my sincere appreciation to everyone on the host committee, all of the sponsors and donors, including many of who are here tonight for the very first time in supporting BPACF. And a special thank you to First Energy, who I see you're on both sides of the room here. Thank you all so much for your sponsorship. Torrance, here. To my mentees, childhood best friends, all of my soarers of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, from coast to coast and everywhere in between. To my Alpha Phi Alpha specialists who are in the room, all of my Link sisters, especially those of the Western Reserve chapter, and my dolls from the DMV, Chicago, and Minneapolis. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. I love each and every one of you. To Symone Sanders Townsend, my little sister. Yep, everything she said was true. I put her out. Yes, she was living a pretty good life. But I would open my home to you all over again. You came to me at a really difficult time and saw me through it, and I will forever love you for that. Thank you. And last but not least, my family. Mommy, Karen, Sean, my heartbeats, Julian and Clay. And to Tanya, Eric, and to Krisha, in their absence, you all inspire me each and every day. You keep me grounded and humble, and never doubted my talent or my value, even when I questioned it myself. Thank you for always believing in me and supporting me. To my Aunt Fran and all my cousins and extended family, thank you so much for your ongoing prayers and nonstop laughter. Our family grows stronger each and every day, and always will, because we lead with love. This moment is one I will cherish forever, not just for myself, but especially for my late father, Clay Wisham. He was my first love, my first role model, my moral compass, and the person who taught me the importance of legacy and duty. At the core of his life was family. He enjoyed being a son, brother, husband, father, grandfather, uncle, counselor, coach, and friend. He passed away 9 years ago, leaving behind a legacy of goodwill that opened doors for me throughout my 34-year career. He had a love for people and always felt it was his duty to help those less fortunate, a trait he learned from his mother, even though he and his family were of little means, and a value that he and Mom instilled in my sister and me, even as they worked to build a middle-class life for us. Legacy and duty are two words that have shaped my life and everything I strive to do. At their intersection, legacy gives duty its meaning, and duty gives legacy its life. As I reflect on my life and career, I had no idea how impactful my father's legacy would be for me until now. On December 13th, 1965, Dad joined the Cleveland Electric Illuminating Company, a subsidiary of First Energy, the company I retired from 6 months ago. He was one of the first Blacks hired in the personnel department. Shortly after the company voluntarily signed a pledge supporting President Lyndon Johnson's executive order on plans for progress, a national program encouraging businesses to commit to ending employment discrimination and increase the number of minorities working in corporate America. When he joined CEI, Blacks made up about 5% of the workforce. His predecessor left files with jobs labeled colored and jobs labeled white. As the employment representative and later the employment supervisor, Dad worked to fill these roles regardless of race. In 1970, he sought another opportunity to become the first Black personnel officer at Union Commerce Bank, the predecessor to Huntington Bank. After 2 years with the bank, he was recruited to Cleveland State University to lead the Affirmative Action Office. Even with federal support of these efforts, the 1970s were difficult times. So he returned to CEI to finish out his career in management. He retired from Centurior, the parent company of Toledo Edison and CEI, in 1993. I joined CEI following David Whitehead's footsteps in 2005 as a regional vice president, continuing a generational legacy rarely achieved by Blacks in Fortune 500 companies. As I launched my 19-and-a-half-year journey with First Energy, his advice to me: do your best and do it with integrity. Dad was a simple man who embodied a quiet strength. His autobiography, From the Hollow to the Heights, offers an intimate story about family, life, and career. The first draft began as a guide for young Black professionals entering corporate America, more specifically for my sister and I. It ended as a memoir of ordinary success, sharing wisdom and lived experience about community, racial injustice, and hope. I have always believed that those who have been successful in life and are in a position to help others have an obligation to do so, he wrote. In order to give something back to the community, you must help those who are less fortunate or not have the same opportunities as you. This is particularly true for those Black men and women who work in corporate world. Black people can always use the help of other Blacks with influence. This is who Dad was, the creed that he lived by, the creed that I live by. I'm honored to be included on the BPOY list with other leaders that inspired me. Bertram Gardner, the first BPOY honoree, was an executive at Ameritrust Bank and the first Black president of the City Club of Cleveland. He mentored many, including my dad. His civic contributions were pivotal in Cleveland, and he was an active member of an organization that Randall referred to, Blacks in Management. Blacks in Management is a support network for Black managers and above in corporate Cleveland. It was founded in 1968 to provide a safe space for members to address workplace challenges while offering CEOs, community leaders, policymakers a platform to discuss the issues affecting the Black community. BIM's mission focused on economic empowerment, education, and generational impact. I grew up in BIM, literally, witnessing firsthand the transformative power of legacy and leadership. Dad joined in 1970 and remained active for decades, befriending many esteemed Black executives, including Jerome McClain, Jerry Parker, and of course, David and their families. David, like Bertram Gardner, was one of several BPOY honorees who are active members of BIM. Danny Cameron, Hilton Smith, Randall McShepard, and Ernie Cade, all of whom played a role in my career and professional development. It is an extraordinary honor to join them in this distinction. I am my father's daughter, shaped by his principles and driven by his faith in the power of purpose. 3 principles continue to anchor my journey: service, integrity, and empowerment. I believe a legacy of service helps create pathways where none existed and uses influence to open doors for others. When you're rooted in faith, principled, and compassionate, you value integrity, and it shows. And every opportunity to share your knowledge with the next generation of leaders. Where are those scholars? Raise your hands for me. Where are the babies? It leaves a path a little clearer for those like them coming behind us. For me, duty has never been a burden. It is the unyielding sense that to whom much is given, much is required. It demands that we it demands that we use our influence, not for comfort, but for change. And it demands that we be courageous, because as we know, this work, helping advance communities of color, more specifically the Black community, has been met with undeniable obstacles and blatant vitriol, testing every measurable success that has been achieved since the 1960s. Today, we are witnessing every attempt to erase the civil rights protections that Dad and his generation fought for. However, our ancestors laid the groundwork for resilience. And despite current social policies trying to deny our rights and erase our history, we inherited a legacy from our ancestors, and it's our duty to honor it with courageous action. Action that challenges the status quo. Action that addresses the lack of trust and psychological safety in the workplace. Action that elevates the voices of the least of these in our community. Action that preserves our social, racial, and economic equality. True success, Dad said, was measured not by personal achievement, but by the good we do for others. Therein lies what grounds my foundation in social impact. We drive what it's what drives my passion to serve others. I think that's why leading the First Energy Foundation was so important to me. I quickly came to understand the significant influence that leading a corporate foundation holds, the ability to positively impact lives and foster transformative communities. In the 6 years I led the foundation, my incredible team and I allocated over $72 million in charitable contributions. Many of you in the room tonight were recipients of some of these grants. Investments across 5 states, representing 1/3 of all giving in the foundation's history. Why do I share that? Because when legacy and duty intersect, something powerful happens. Pathways to success are created. Communities become more vibrant and livable. Educational and economic opportunities are accessible, and families and children begin to thrive. When leaders, leveraging influence and access, invest their time and resources, change happens. Philanthropy in its purest form is about justice and equity, not just charity. Corporate and community foundations, or those with influence over charitable giving, should understand that it's about redistributing opportunity, not just resources. It's about recognizing our shared responsibility to serve our community, investing in education with organizations like BPACF brings hope and optimism as new leadership emerges. Out of curiosity, how many of you were past BPACF Scholars? Do we have any former scholars? Could you stand for me, please? No, I can't see. Thank you. I don't know if you all looked around, but the folks that stood included C-suite executives, bank professionals, lawyers, authors, nonprofit leaders, former congressional staffers, and entrepreneurs. Your contribution in support of tonight's Text to Give invests in their future, creating these leaders of tomorrow. As I said at the start of my remarks, I'm profoundly moved and deeply humbled by this honor. Every accolade reminds me to keep mentoring, building, and giving. And tonight, I rededicate myself to living at the intersection of legacy and duty, ensuring my father's legacy contributes to something greater than myself. We moved to Shaker Heights in 1973 as part of a larger effort to integrate the community. I learned everything I needed to know about life in Shaker. Dad called it leveling the playing field, and he was right. Mom worked for the school system and retired in 2000 after nearly 20 years as the high school nurse. Talk to me about that later. I got lots of stories. After my sister and I graduated, the Minority Achievement Committee for the Max Scholars Program was launched by students to address the achievement gap of Black male students. Hubert McIntyre, please stand. As a longtime advisor to the MAC Scholars, I believe you would agree that parents of MAC Scholars want the same thing for their children that Dad wanted for us when he enrolled us in Shaker schools. That is why I am gifting $15,000 to the Shaker Schools Foundation to establish Thank you. To establish the Evelyn and Clay Wisham MAC Scholars Fund. A moment ago, I asked all BPOY scholars, past and present, to stand. Among them was LaToya Smith, a longtime leader and HR vice president at Fifth Third Bank. At the onset of the pandemic, her friend, Danielle Acosta, recruited her and another friend, Tracy Cleveland, to launch DNA Rising, a community-based program addressing housing insecurity for veterans and single mothers. My father and his 4 siblings were raised by a single mother with an 8th grade education. Despite their limited financial means and frequent moves when he was a child, they absolutely lived with dignity, similar to the program that you provide. LaToya, where are you? Please stand. As you celebrate your 5th anniversary with the goal of raising $15,000, I am willing to match that goal because I know you are close. And I'm sure there'll be some folks here in the room that will help you get there. Dad would absolutely have loved what you are doing and have complete respect for your work. I'm so proud of you, all 3 of you. Karamu House Theater is the oldest Black public theater in the country, and it's a national treasure right here in Cleveland. Many of the great authors, playwrights like Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston, and actors like Batsara, Ruby Dee, James Pickens, made Karamu their second home. Karamu in Swahili means a place of joyful gathering. And for many years, Blacks in management met in the Stokes Room at Karamu for its monthly meetings, different events. Karamu CEO Tony Sias, please stand. As you and your dedicated board work tirelessly to elevate Karamu's brand, its crucial role in Northeast Ohio's legacy in public theater, I hope a $25,000 challenge grant will boost support for your current campaign. Earlier tonight, the VIP reception included a performance by students at the Tri-C Jazz Fest Academy with special guests, my incredibly talented nephews, Julian Hudson on trombone. Stand up, Jules. Wave to the people. And Clay Hudson on drums. Thank you both so much for doing that. I have served on the Tri-C Foundation Board for nearly 2 decades. Dr. Thornton, Dr. Johnson, and now Dr. Michael Baston have transformed the model for community colleges, benefiting our community for years to come. Before transferring to the University of Akron on the advice of Dad, I took classes at Tri-C, which deeply impacted me and later solidified my commitment to the college. During Clay's internship here this summer with the mayor's office, we attended the Jazz Fest kickoff at the City Club, featuring Dominic Farinacci and the students of the Tri-C Jazz Fest Academy. We discussed the importance of these programs, especially in the current climate where arts programs are being eliminated. Dr. Baston, are you here? He's not here. All right, Megan O'Brien. Megan O'Brien, please stand. Oh, okay. Everybody from Tri-C, please stand. I'm okay with that. I love it. In honor of Jazz Fest's 25th anniversary, I think that's right, I'm gifting a $25,000 challenge to the Tri-C Foundation to aid Jazz Fest Academy in fostering more connections with more students. I am also offering my nephews, Clay and Julian, to come teach a master class. And lastly, the challenge match that was announced with the text to give for a total of $15,000. Where do we stand? It brings me great pleasure to announce that I was the anonymous donor. I thought I was gonna have to work, y'all. That's like 3 more pages. Awesome. So you can keep going. 18,000, but I'm stopping at 15. I'm stopping. You guys can keep going, but I'm stopping at 15. As I close, I want to leave you with this. Legacy is our responsibility, plain and simple. In this room sit CEOs, public servants, philanthropists, artists, scholars, business people, people with the power to shape what comes next. So I ask you, don't just celebrate me tonight. Commit to lifting someone that you know or someone you don't know as you climb. Commit to using your influence when others remain silent. Commit to making sure that our children inherit not just our success, but our courage as well. We cannot afford to be silent. Let me say that again. We cannot afford to be silent. While equity is dismantled, our history is rewritten, and access is denied. Not when we sit in rooms like this, because I know who's here. Rooms of influence with resources, brilliance, and power. Good people, I accept this award with deep, deep gratitude, and I share it with my dad. It is a reminder to keep going, to honor his legacy, uplift my community, and ensure our achievements and purpose are passed on. If there's any legacy attached to my name, let it be this. That I tried to make a difference, that I tried to lift others as I climbed, and that I never forgot whose shoulders I stand on. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome my childhood friend. Make some noise for Mr. Tyson Mitchell, the Vice President of BPACF, to the stage right now.
It's funny. I used to carry DJ Ellery's records to get into the clubs free many years ago. Good evening. I am Tyson Mitchell, and I am the Vice President of BPACF. What an amazing testimonial by our Black Professional of the Year. As you can see, they're still giving love over there to the left. Northeast Ohio's own Lorna Wisham. Look at this. Now, some of y'all may know her as Wish, Lorna Doone, but I know her as L Boogie. Anybody know her as L Boogie? All right. At this time, I would like to pivot a bit and call to the stage my wonderful Spelman sister. Where's she at? Miss Allison Calhoun. She's coming up to the stage, followed by my D9 brother and mentor, Mr. Kevin Clayton. So I welcome them to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm Allison Graves Calhoun, and I'd just like to thank the BPACF leadership for this opportunity to present to you the Crimson and Emerald Scholarship Fund, which was established in honor of Lorna Wisham's over 35 years of dedicated service to Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and her over 18 years of membership and leadership in the Links Incorporated. These two organizations that are near and dear to Lorna, and through her dedication to both, she has committed her time, talent, and treasure to support and uplift our community. The Crimson and Emerald Scholarship Fund was established to support BPACF Scholars. A full scholarship is $1,500 per year, and our goal is to raise a minimal $7,500, which would support 5 BPACF scholars. The $7,500 goal is modest and perhaps somewhat arbitrary, but what we know, based on everything we've heard tonight, is that the needs of BPACF scholars pursuing their educational goals are anything but modest and arbitrary. Thank you to my sorors and sister links who have already led the way with your donations. I now appeal to the wider donor base all over this room to support the Crimson and Emerald Scholarship Fund with whatever amount you can. This is outside of the match that was just given, and of course we met that goal, so dig deeper, please. And I'm pleased to say that this is an equal opportunity scholarship, so you do not have to be a member of Delta Sigma Theta or the Links to donate. So please donate. And don't be afraid to donate so much that we exceed the goal, just like we did with the match that Lorna provided. That will help BPACF scholars support, BPACF support more deserving scholars. So please contribute. You can scan, maybe the QR code is gonna come up, but it is in your program that you can scan the QR code on your table. Thank you very much, and congratulations, Lorna.
So Lorna, you have been giving all night long. And I just want to share a story I've never shared with you before. And for those of you who don't know me, I have the pleasure to work for the Cavs as one of their executive vice presidents. And when I moved back here back home in 2019, our CEO then, Lynn Komorowski, week 1 said, Kevin, you have got to meet Lorna Wisham. I'm like, Lynn, I got a lot of stuff to do. He said, well, one of the things that you need to do and move to the top of your list is to meet Lorna Wisham. So Lorna, before I ever came back home to Cleveland, you have been a great friend to the Cavs. And I just want to offer an opportunity to recognize you. So what we're going to do, and we've done this during February, and we celebrate Black excellence. And I want to offer you an opportunity to be celebrated at Rocket Arena, of which you and a guest will come and be in the chairman's suite. But more importantly, we're going to recognize you and the organization on court in front of 20,000 people to get that opportunity to understand what a queen and amazing woman you are for this community. So, Lorna, you kind of know how we roll down at the arena, right? We will celebrate you, and we really appreciate everything you've done for this community. On behalf of the Cavs, please accept our way of celebrating you. Thank you.
All right, what a wonderful gesture from both Allison and Kevin. Can we give them another round of applause? Tonight, as I listened to Lorna speak about the intersection of legacy and duty, it made me think about what I keep hearing young people say all the time. They don't groom the next generation. They don't care about our future. They don't even have blacks in management anymore. They don't pass the torch. But here's the truth, my brothers and sisters. At my age, at our age, we are the they that the next generation is talking about. That's right, we are the they. We've become the generation that younger people are watching. We're the ones who hold the lessons, the influence, the access, and the responsibility to make sure that the next wave of Cleveland leaders are ready to take the baton. So if our young people aren't stepping up as we think they should, maybe it's because we haven't passed the torch clearly enough. If there's a dearth in leadership, maybe it's because we haven't invested enough time, mentorship, or faith in the ones coming behind us. When we were younger, they were the ones who opened the doors for us. A Coach Ginn, a Morehouse man in Reverend Dr. Otis Moss, Reverend Colvin, a congressman in Lewis Stokes, a proud alpha man in Reverend Hilton Smith, and a courageous councilwoman in Fannie Lewis. Someone who saw something in us before we saw it in ourselves. Now, we are the they. And for you grammatically appropriate folks, we are them. We are the mentors. We are the voices of encouragement. We are the living examples of what Cleveland toughness and Cleveland heart look like when it turns into leadership. We are the they. And that's why this moment matters. As Lorna Doone described, passing the torch isn't just about stepping aside, it's about lighting the path forward. Every scholarship we fund, every student we mentor, every young person we invest in, that's how we build the Cleveland of tomorrow. That's how we make sure the next set of leaders are not only prepared, but empowered. We will teach them how to lead with purpose. We will show them that integrity still matters. We will help them turn passion into progress and ideals into impact. We are the they. And that's why on our watch, it's up to us to lift this next generation, to hand them not just the torch, but the confidence and tools to keep it burning. And tonight, we did just that. the theys or them or you all or Lorna Doone, El Boogie raised $360,000 tonight. Would you give that a clap? $360,000, and the total keeps going. As I close out, and of course they set the timer on me, but they didn't set it on the one who's giving that whole lot of money in here, Lorna Doone, and I understand that because it's a whole lot of money in here. But I must encourage us to be prayerful for those in our community who rely on food assistance. It's about to get rough. I would also be remiss if I didn't encourage you all to get out and vote this Tuesday. Because we know a hopeless people, we know a voteless people is a hopeless people. So let's get out and vote. As we prepare for the benediction, I'd like to take this time to bring our illustrious president, Dr. Michelle Scott Taylor, to the stage. You're coming back for some final housekeeping. As she makes her way to the stage, oh, Ms. Symone, all right, thank you. I always listen to Madam President. I want to bring light to this divine confirmation that permeates in this room tonight. What do I mean by divine confirmation? I'm glad you asked. Tonight we honor Lorna Wisham, I want to say Doone so bad, I do, as the BPOY. But as you heard earlier, it is her birthday. However, I can't just allow this to go with only words. So I'm going to ask my childhood friend, DJ Ellery, to cue the music and to ask you all to stand on your feet. To stand on your feet as we sing Happy Birthday. I know you don't know the words, but you all know the chorus, just like me. So we're going to sing Happy Birthday to Miss Lorna Wisham. We got to do it for her. Turn it up. Yeah, come on, there we go. Let's turn it up. I'm going to help y'all with the words because I know you only know the chorus. So we're going to do that. It starts off by saying it doesn't make sense. It ought to be a law against. Come on. Anyone who takes offense at a day in your celebration. Come on, Lorna. Come on. There ought to be a time that we can set aside to show how much we love you. Come on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Yeah, we do it all types of ways at BPACF. This is the urban version. So let's go. Put your hands together. Come on. Go, Lorna. It's your birthday. Come on. We got DJ Ellery in the building tonight. Cleveland's Heartbeat. And we're singing Happy Birthday. So I'll turn it back over as we close out. Come on.
All right, now, DJ Ellery, I have some housekeeping. I'm going to need you to find some house music so I can give these closing comments. Y'all was getting a little too jumping. See y'all ready for the after party. Well, well, well. What an extraordinary evening. Give yourselves a round of applause. You know, Karen sent me up here to say two things. First, Mr. Clayton, I think we just need to talk about Lorna's guest list. And I'm happy to be your MC, so let me know if we can work out. That's first. Secondly, to everyone in this room, I think if there was a definition for we can all do a little bit more in the dictionary, there'd be a picture of Lorna Wisham next to it. The bar has officially been raised for this event, the honorees of this event. I'm scared who's getting this award next year. Y'all gonna have to find at least $150,000 in your own cash to give away. Lord Jesus. But you can do more. Lorna, I love you. It is a pleasure to be here. We are all so proud of you. I encourage you all to make sure you join the after party. We will be there for the first 30 minutes. I will take pictures. After that, I'm drinking with Lorna. Don't ask. I don't want to be liable for what's on the tape. But truly, please, everyone, help us carry the energy from this vibrant event further than tonight. We can further support this illustrious organization in their mission to uplift the young people, the leaders of today, by making donations. You can still use the link that is provided, the donation link. You can encourage others to contribute as well. Again, if you have prepaid for garage parking, validation is available at the registration desk right outside the ballroom in the atrium. If you did not prepay, I do not have instructions for that. I wish you a delightful evening. And remember, again, the festivities will continue at the after party right upstairs. It has been a true pleasure to serve as your MC this evening. And because we are sure much debauchery is going to follow, please welcome Reverend Celeste Glasgow Ribbons, the Associate Minister at Avon Avenue Baptist Church and founder and principal of the Power Shift Experience coaching and consulting firm, to conclude the dinner program with some prayer.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. What a night this has been. We have gathered in excellence, in elegance, and in deep gratitude for the life and legacy of our dear sister, soror, friend, and colleague, Lorna Wisham. On this, the anniversary of her birth, we have not just celebrated the years she has lived, but also the lives she has lifted. Being named Black Professional of the Year is more than a moment for Lorna. It is a mirror reflecting the decades of unwavering service she has given to communities often overlooked. And so as we prepare to depart, may we leave both inspired and ignited, unified by the very spirit that has fueled her calling, her courage, her philanthropy, and her consistent commitment to justice, healing, and hope. So if all hearts and minds are clear, now may the God who began a good work in you light your path with clarity and wisdom. May the God who covers you with grace and mercy bless your journey with joy and peace. And may you go forth in power and love, walking worthy of the God who sends you and the Holy Spirit who lives within you. Amen.
All right, we want to see y'all upstairs at the after party. Good times, good times, good times. Our BPOY will be celebrating her birthday. We're going to give her a moment to get upstairs. We can't wait to see you all.